Hi guys, right. So I hope you're all doing very well. I just thought I would do this video, to be honest. It's to do with cyclists. A pupil of mine asked me to do this video because a lot of times pupils struggle with cyclists. So when it comes to cyclists, we've got to think about adequate clearance. How much room should you give a cyclist? Well, it used to be 1 meter or one car door's width. Now that's changed. So you should aim to give a cyclist 1.5 meters to 2 meters because obviously a cyclist can swerve suddenly. So here we've got a cyclist in front of us, and here you can see this pupil driving did brilliantly. So you see, you hold back if there's not enough room to overtake the cyclist. You want to hold back, as you can see what the pupil is doing here, which is absolutely brilliant. So you want to hold back until at least there is enough opportunity. So here the pupil is going to overtake. Now, when overtaking, you've got to think about the junction that's there because vehicle could be coming. As you see, there was a vehicle there, so you've got to take that into consideration. But when the pupil made the decision to go around that cyclist rather, you can see that plenty of room was given. So you want to give at least a door and a half, or should I say 1.5 meter. Another way of measuring it is to just basically just to be safe. Don't take the chance. That's the key thing. You can see in this case now we're going past this parked vehicle. Again, this is another thing we've got to take into consideration. You should aim to do one car doors width away, and that's just in case if the door opens, you don't have to swerve or anything like that. So we have to take that into consideration. You might hear me go silent a little bit throughout because this video is of various clips that's been put together on different situation to do with cyclists. So here you can see we're in a different scenario. We're on a dual carriageway. So for this dual carriageway, we're just traveling some distance. So you might end up just again once more, you might hear me going silent for a little while until we come up to the cyclist. Then I'll come in. So I'll just go silent for a while. I know I said I'd go silent for a while, but I've got to just ask, what do you guys think about this stop in terms of the distance from the parked car in front? That's brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant distance he's got. You can see the tires on tarmac. This tells me that it's a perfect stopping distance. So well done to the pupil on this one as well. Here is another little tip for you guys when you're stopping behind longer vehicle. In this case, the bus, you should see tires on the top. So whenever you stop, make sure you can see the tires of the bus, or at least the bottom of the bus, but also make sure you can see the top as well. So that's a little trick to know that if you've got a good little distance. So look at this scenario now, or should I say, look at this situation. What can we see up ahead on the left? Can you see that? Brilliant. So you can see the cyclist there. So ask yourself the question, can I go around? Is it safe to do so? At this point is when you'd be checking your center mirror, checking your right mirror, and if the opportunity does not present itself, just hold back. There's no rush. We're not rushing to try to get too close to the cyclist. Obviously, you want to maintain a reasonable speed because you don't want to drop too far back. So I would say, as a rule of thumb, make sure you can see his tires. So you want to see his back tires all the way throughout. Whatever happens, do not lose his back tires. In fact, you can even be a little bit back where you can see more than his back tires. Now, in this case, you can see the pupil holding back, waiting for that opportunity. The opportunity has not presented itself, now it has. So you check center, check right, and then you switch lane. Now, when coming back into the left lane, it is vital that you check your center and your left mirror. Make sure you can see the cyclist before coming back in. And I would say make sure you can see them at least in the center mirror before you make the decision to come in. So that's how we deal with cyclists and a dual carriageway. And again, I'll go silent. Another thing to take into consideration when on dual carriageway, you've got to be thinking, is the speed changing? So here we can see the speed changing to 30 miles an hour. By the time you get to that, you must be doing 30 miles an hour. This is very, very important. Please remember to check your center mirror as well. So here we're going to be turning right. But if you look now, you see you've got two lanes going to the right. Which one should we take? That's correct. Take the one on the left in order to go round. And when you come around, you'll automatically come around in the left lane. So here we're back on a single carriageway, which we're going to be turning left at this set of traffic light. And then we'll come round and we'll be encountering another cyclist. So when we come up to that cyclist, you hear me saying more. It is pivotal that once we're driving, we're looking ahead. What can you see up ahead? Can you see that cyclist? What are we going to do in this situation? Remember what we discussed about the adequate clearance? Beautiful. Can you see his back tires? Brilliant. So you want to make sure you can see not just his back tire sitting on tarmac. In all honesty, you want to be as far back as possible within at least a car's length, to be honest. But whatever you do, do not lose the back tires. So you can see in this situation, brilliant. So the cyclist mounted the pavement. That gives us the opportunity to go. Had the cyclist not gone onto the pavement, what would you have done? That's correct. You would have to hold back because there's a bend. So if you cannot see around the bend, you should not overtake a cyclist. This is very, very important. So now we're on a different road to deal with another cyclist situation. So we're turning left at the traffic light, or we're just following it around. This cyclist situation, it is a little bit different. It's mainly to do with the zebra crossing rather than the cyclist himself. It just happened to be a cyclist in that situation. So here we can see we're coming up to a zebra crossing. You want to be scanning both sides. But again, I may well do a video specifically on zebra crossing. There's a specific reason why I'm doing this video in particular. So have a look now as we're coming down. What can we see? Can you see the zebra crossing by any chance? See the black and white pole? See the zebra crossing? See the zigzag lines? You've got to slow down here. Look at that. You cannot see to the right, so you've got to slow down. Prepare to stop. Have a look. Look at that. Another person crossing. So you've got to scan both sides. If you cannot see both sides of the road leading up to the zebra crossing, you've got to prepare to stop. Do a little commentary driving. So the examiner knows your thought process. Say something along the line of, okay, I'm just going to slow down here because I cannot see if anyone is crossing from the right. And I'm going to check my center mirror to make sure it's safe from behind. Give a little comment. It's okay to comment. This is what I want people to understand. It's okay to give a little comment. Yeah? This is very important. So whenever you're coming up, just to reiterate, whenever you're coming up to zebra crossing or any pedestrian crossing, if you cannot see both sides of the crossing clearly, you must prepare to stop or at least slow down and look both sides and just creep through. This is vital. Right, yep, and I hope this video helps someone out there, which I am certain that it will. And that's the whole idea. As I said, this was requested from a pupil of mine who struggled with dealing with cyclist situation, and I just happened to come across these cyclists and like over 2 different days. So I just thought, let me just collate these and put them together and then share it with you guys. So again, hope this helps someone out there. Okay, have a good day.